Hi Badminton fans, and welcome to test number 722 and 723. This is the Kawasaki Honor S7 3U and 4U rackets. So who are we and what do we do? We test badminton equipment like strings, shuttlecocks, shoes, and of course lots of rackets. Over 750 in actual fact. Rackets tested on our site and in great detail like you've never seen before. If you go to our website and go onto the Year Zone, you can sign in and see all this information for free. You can also advertise your club for free, and you can also advertise any forthcoming tournaments for free. We do ask of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our website, press the like button, and if you can afford it, please do donate whatever you can so we can keep our work going forward. Thank you. Availability, we sell these rackets for $109.99. They're available for shipping worldwide. Otherwise, very difficult to get hold of people who sell Kawasaki. Most of the people that Kawasaki are selling to are still shops only without websites, so very difficult to recommend you to different places, and our prices are amongst the best available for Kawasaki products. Okay, let's go to the specs of these rackets. So the S7 3U and 4Us, let me just bring up the right page. Someone's put me on the wrong page here. Bosh. Okay, so there's obviously the 3U weight is 3U and the 4U weight is 4U. Both of them are head heavy, weight towards the head. Both are medium flex shafts. Both have maximum string tension of 30 pounds. Both have G2 grips, and both are made in China. Now how does that compare to our E-Zone specs? Well, the 3U racket weighed in at 91.1 grams. It's head heavy at 302, and the stiffness of the racket is I would say just sort of past medium stiff to stiff. The 4U racket weighs in at 89.1 grams. It's head heavy, slightly more than the 3U version, and it has a more flexible shaft than the 3U version does. So there are the specs. And now in terms of the design, well, if you remember the Honor S6, it has this lovely sort of ribbed section down here, and then that's sort of gloss, and then it goes into matte, and again the massive detailing around the head. Really impressive. Kawasaki are the leaders when it comes to badminton racket design. There is nobody who designs or puts a better collage of colors together on a racket compared to Kawasaki. Even the way the covers these come in, all of them come in such unique covers. They're great gifts to give people who are into badminton because they look so presentable, and when you take out the product it feels like you've got a real premium product. So $109.99. The reason for that is because it's made of high level material, it's designed to a high spec and finished beautifully. Take a look at these pictures and see for yourself. Okay, so what are these rackets like to play with? Well, in terms of feel, the 3U feels way lighter than you might expect. An 91.1 gram, it feels fairly nimble in the air, and the stiffness feels medium. It doesn't feel overly stiff. So actually, this is a very nice racket when it comes to dealing with that 91 grams of weight. It's actually really good. It's not quite as nimble as the Black Panther, but it still is really quite impressive. In terms of its key strength, I would say that its overhead shots, clearing with this racket, backhand, forehand, you know, sort of not quite aligned, just off center clears where you're sort of reaching to make a clear, really quite impressive. And also you are able to get a really decent level of smash from this racket. It performs really well when it comes to smash power. In other areas you do find it slowing down a little bit, So I would say, but these aren't like it's really bad at that, but defensively speaking, drives, it does just slow down a little bit, so you do find yourself a little bit late on defensive shots, on some shots, not all the time, but a little bit late on defensive shots, and you'd like to be just that much earlier on those drives where you're getting really behind the shuttle and getting a proper pop off the shuttle, and the direction and of course the accuracy of the shot can suffer if you're not there in time, like it does with all of badminton. Timing is everything. Being in the right place at the right time matters a lot to how easily you're going to make the stroke. So where does that leave us? I would say that for the 3U racket, it's a thumbs up for singles players, it's a thumbs up for doubles players, and I would say that it's suitable for intermediate to advanced players only. Now the 4U version, this actually feels exactly the same weight as the 3U, because the 4U weighed in at 89 and the 3U that we have weighed in at 91, so there's not much difference between the two, and they feel about the same. In terms of everything else, in terms of stiffness and airspeed, they also feel very, very similar. They don't, the 3U is not particularly slower, or the 4U particularly faster than the 3U version of the racket. In terms of its key strengths, well, to be honest with you, we didn't find that the 4U had a massive gain on the 3U version. It scored slightly higher in the E-zone testing, but overall its control levels were easier and far more accurate than 3U. Again, just being able to negotiate that little bit less weight made it easier to control, and in terms of smash power, it also has a very good smash. There, its two most important points. I would say that everything else defensively, it should have been better than it is. Drive wise, it should have been way better than 3, but they're about the same. The drive power, the defensive power of the rackets, very, very similar. So we can't say the 4U is way better than the 3U, which is normally the case, because that extra weight saving allows for that extra airspeed, giving us a bigger pop on some of the smashes, giving us better drives, better defense, but in this case scenario wasn't the case. So while the S7 4U score was a little bit better than the S7 3U, ultimately speaking, if you are interested in getting a big bang from the racket, this S7 3U can provide that. It can provide that. The S7 4U, to summarize, intermediate and advanced players, is a thumbs up. Singles players, I'm going to say thumbs down, because overhead shots are harder than they are with the 3U, and for doubles players it's a thumbs up. You can use this racket and you won't be too disappointed. It's got enough in the tank to be able to deliver a good performance. I hope you found that helpful. Now before we go, if you're going to head off to the E-zone to see the smash shot, the manoeuvre shot, see the all-round specs of these rackets, do remember the E-zone is now free of charge. So please, if you're asking us to compare one racket to the, just go to the E-zone yourself and do it yourself. It's free, and it will provide you more information than we will on a little reply on YouTube. You can advertise your clubs. Do advertise your clubs on the E-zone, please. It's free of charge. The reason we're pushing you to do that is because badminton in 2020 really suffered badly worldwide. We need to do our part, and for us to do our part, we need you to do your bit. Advertise your clubs on the website. Advertise your tournaments on the website. Get people coming and playing badminton again. That is the aim of all of that. And the last thing I'd like to say is, if you go to the E-zone, better to view the E-zone on a computer or a laptop. It doesn't view that well on a mobile phone. Although the site is responsive, there is a lot of information for us to be able to put onto a mobile phone, and it doesn't always, you know, perform as well as it would on a larger screen. Outside of that, thank you so much for the love, thank you for the support. Keep up the subscriptions, keep up the likes, keep up the sharing. Let's keep growing together. The E-zone was made for you, the badminton community. The YouTube channel was made for you, the badminton community. We're here to serve you. It's our absolute honor. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you on the next video.